So, I wanted to make a video about this whole Kanye situation. I usually don't speak on nothing for real. I try not to give my opinion too much, but I wanted to make this video because I have my own Kanye theory, and a lot of y'all probably won't agree with this. Some of y'all will. Some of y'all probably already thinking this as well. And it might be unpopular. Like, I'm not mad at Kanye for what was said or any of that, because I mean, I think, I don't know, but I think I know his motives. And I also believe that if you know someone's motives, or if you know what somebody's trying to get to, and they go about it the wrong way, you can be mad at the way they went about it, but you know, you still have to understand that this person does make mistakes and don't have a solid understanding on what was the right way to do it, or what could be deemed as the wrong way to do it. So I'm gonna hop into it like this. I think Kanye's ultimate goal is to be one with everybody. And I say this because he's been saying this to us for years, since his first interview on Breakfast Club. First, he wanted to take down classism, you know, and also racism, but he spoke it big on classism. If anybody's a true fan or seen some of his interviews, he talked about how he downgraded at one point his first class seat because there was nobody going in to the coach side. There was no wait, but everybody was waiting for first class. But really, the only luxury is time. You know, time saved, and you know. Also, like back when his clothing line first dropped, I seen something, and everybody was talking about how, you know, homeless people wear this and homeless people wear that, and so on and so forth. If you actually sat there and really looked at it, when I seen his clothing line, I said, this is another attempt at making everybody one. So when you see somebody on the street wearing his clothing, it's almost like it wouldn't be able to be able to tell apart from somebody that's very rich compared to somebody that's homeless. I mean, look at the bulky, dirty-looking shoe trend that's going on right now, which I don't care for none of them, but you can see like that's the hot thing right now, which is all inspired by Yeezy. You know, a lot of designers and stuff done. You know, they're eating off of his clothing designs. But again, if you just look at all that clothing, you know, more people. I mean, before he was wearing the skinny jeans and then the ripped up clothing and so much, the grunge look, a lot of people wasn't wearing that. So, you know, he brought that to the forefront. And again, it's almost taking it from I'm wearing high class this and high class that, to you don't know what I'm wearing, you don't know what my status is, you don't know how much I pay for these. I could be a hobo or I could be rich, so on and so forth. But don't judge me off my clothing, basically. And that's what I got from it. I may be wrong, but just look at that the first season of his clothing. Yeah. So again, and then with his music, he's crossed the lines many a times trying to reach out so he can have everyone as his fans. Not so much, I don't look at it as him leaving us in the background. Again, I just think this was another attempt at making everyone one. You know, when you look at his visuals, it's not just black girls. I think that was another attempt at making everyone one. If you go back into his interviews when he talked about how he was that guy that ran over the hill, I believe Jay-Z said this as well, But the guy that ran over the hill before everybody, just to let us know it was safe, or he ran back with all the arrows in his back, you know. So he's willing to die to push these boundaries again, looking to make everybody one. And I think I think there's a point where we tell ourselves something over and over and over and over and over again, to the point where we start believing it. And I think he may have believed that we were closer to that one than what we are. And if he don't believe that, or if we're not there, I should say, he's going to try to push it another step further by getting all of his stands, I wouldn't say just fans, but stands, to follow in his footsteps, what he has done before. I mean, when it comes to clothing, everybody follow him. When it comes to music, everybody follow him. So when it comes to his politics, I'm thinking he think that everybody will still follow him. But I don't know if he understands that we're in a new age of understanding, a new age of knowledge, and people aren't senseless followers anymore. And sometimes people don't know when they have gone too far with their antics or with their ways to get to something before it's too late. And I think he crossed that boundary with a lot of people, I should say. I'm not gonna say with me. I'm a neither here or there type of guy with Kanye. Favorite hour, Late Registration, last full album I heard of him. Y'all probably gonna be mad at me, but was Graduation. I mean, I've heard other tracks off of other albums, but once he kind of stepped away and started reaching towards other groups, I left him where he stood. It's not for me, and it's not that it's bad. I mean, the tracks that I have heard on other albums were good songs. I did like, no, let me take that back. So I did listen to all of The Life of Pablo, and I like some tracks on there. Some tracks, it was like, oh, what are you talking about? So, but, back on point. I think it's just a whole bunch of attempts at making people one, and you know, I don't like speaking about his whole mother past and everything, but I think that contributed to the start of this. It's just like when Marvin Gaye, before I believe her name was Tammy Terrell, before she passed, he was a very clean cut, sing about anything type of guy. And after she died, came what's going on, came the not caring so much about appearance, not caring so much about what the masses had to say about his content. He just wanted to get a point across, and that's what he did. And it was a downward spiral to a certain extent. And I think after Kanye losing his mother and understanding that the money he strived so hard to get ultimately couldn't save her life, he started to understand that the luxury of having money, or the power that's supposed to come with having money, can't save you. It's simply nothing. And I think that's was the point where he went deeper. I mean, because he was Ralph Lauren, the pink polos, the everything, the Louis Vuitton dime, so on and so forth. He was all of these different titles, and he stripped all of those after that, and became Kanye. I'm going against everything to do it. I'm just going against everything just to go against everything. Now, I'm not going to talk too much longer. I am at work right now. As you see, I'm in this truck. But that's my Kanye theory. If you agree with me, give me a like. share, whatever. If you don't agree with me, let me know down in the comments why you don't agree with me. And I'm very active on my posts, so I will respond. So yeah, all right.